Howdy, Brazoria County Judge Matt Sebesta here, giving you, our citizens, an update, August 31st, a little after 2 p.m. Joining me today is the entire Commissioner's Court, Precinct 1, Commissioner Dude Payne, Precinct 2, Ryan Cade, Commissioner, Precinct 3, Commissioner Stacey Adams, Precinct 4, Commissioner David Linder, and our Sheriff Charles Wagner. Giving you an update on where we're at with the flooding from Hurricane Harvey, which has impacted every citizen in Brazoria County and virtually every Texan up and down the Gulf Coast. First off, I would ask that if you can, please follow us, Brazoria County, on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check our website. We're pushing out updates as we get them. As they are verified, we're wanting to make sure we put out good, accurate information. So we're making sure that it takes a little bit sometimes to make sure that we're getting good information out to you. I would also ask, if you live in a city, follow your city for the directives and information that they are putting out for you, their citizens, as well. We just met. We extended our disaster declaration for Hurricane Harvey, which will go on indefinitely until we are done from the remnants of the rain and everything else. A little bit on an update of rescues, retrievals. We're at about 1,450 on rescues and retrievals, and we know that's a low number because not all were reported. Over 2,000 evacuations. Animals, we've got over 3,000 animals that we've dealt with at the fairgrounds. We ask that if you have animals out there, make sure you come and help us take care of your animals. And thanks to Texas AgriLife and the SPCA of Brazoria County for assisting those with those animals. Again, thanks to the Gulf Coast Rescue Squad, our Brazoria County Sheriff's Department, Coast Guard, Texas Military, Brazoria County Military Museum, Texas Parks and Wildlife, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Texas A&M Forestry Service, Texas A&M AgriLife and veterinary folks, all our law enforcement and fire departments here throughout the county, our task force responders, SecTrac, TEACS, TDM, Baptist Men, Florida Dade Response Task Force, and of those of you watching, we've got folks from all over the nation that are helping us respond. First, we're going to talk about the San Bernard River. The chart to my left, they're still projecting, the National Weather Service is still projecting a crest of over 32 feet in several days, and we would ask that all people in the San Bernard floodplain, if you have not gotten out yet, please evacuate. The river is still on the rise and will be for several days, and we sure don't want to get you caught up in those flood waters. If we go to the next one, please. We're going to talk about the Brazos River. As you can see from the Brazos River, it has dropped 3 or 4 inches from the crest of yesterday. However, if you will notice, we are still in major flood for the next 5 days as far as the projections go out. Major floods at 51.3, and anytime over about 50 feet, it is pushing water into the floodplain. So please do not be fooled that we have fallen. It is still major flood stage and pushing water, and that water will continue, even though it may have fallen at Rose Sharon a little bit, it will still continue to rise throughout the floodplain. Reports we're getting back in Holiday Lakes and Bar X, homes that did not receive water in last year's flood have received up to 6 and 7 inches of water inside their homes. So please be aware that the floodwaters are still rising. Do we have another one? Let's go to West Columbia. West Columbia, the last readings were at 30.37. The National Weather Service folks with their hydrologists have predicted a crest of about 32 feet in a couple of days, so the river is still on the rise in that area. Please be aware of that. Water will continue to rise in those areas. The next, I'd like to talk about our inundation map provided to us by the Texas Forestry Service. As you can see through this green zone, and this is out on our website and out on our social media, these are the areas that they are expecting for water from the Brazos River to accumulate and stack up. That's not including some of the local rainfall that we have received. There may be waters beyond these boundaries a bit, but this is the major impact from the Brazos River. And as we had stated, we do not have that information. They've not been able to compile that for the San Bernard River. This is for the Brazos River. Mandatory voluntary evacuations are still in effect, and curfew is in effect as well. If you'll check our website, we've added a little bit of a voluntary evacuation zone just off of County Road 288, south of County Road 220. I added that to the voluntary evacuation zone. I'll go back and look. We're still in a mandatory evacuation all through this zone, basically the west half of the county, and then we've got that area right here that is receiving some water that is in the voluntary evacuation zone, south of County Road 220, along County Road 288. Again, if you have evacuated Brazoria County, we'd ask that you stay away from the county for the time being. Supplies are going to be short. If you are in a mandatory evacuation zone, you will not be allowed home. We're going to keep those areas clear as long as we can until the water subsides and it is safe to travel. Please stay updated on our county website, our social media. We'll be putting out as much information as possible. Just to be perfectly clear, it is dangerous out there when there's water along the roads. There was a command vehicle lost last night traveling on a road that was swept off the road. This was a heavy vehicle with professionals, so the Mother Nature and the water that is flowing across the roads is much stronger than it looks. So we would ask, do not travel in areas that are inundated or where there's water over the road. We have gone through flooding in Brazoria County for the last 3 summers, this summer included in that 3. We have been fortunate we have not lost a single casualty to flooding. We would, all of us up here, want to keep that intact. We do not want to have a single loss of life from a Brazoria County citizen or any of our folks in here that are helping to rescue. So we ask that you please stay safe, please stay out of danger, please keep our first responders out of danger. We'll be back with you again tomorrow with an update on where we stand. And we would ask again that you follow us on social media. If you live within a city, follow that city's social media and their websites as well for continued updates. Please thank you and be safe. God bless. Thank you.